Welcome back to another video, guys. Today I want to talk about how we all know what's going to make us better. If you wanted to make a video game character, you would give him an awesome backstory. He was brought up on the streets and he lost his parents. You'd give him all of these awesome, what were classed as awesome things, hard things that he had to go through to make him as strong as possible. This video game character would have to go through the absolute trenches to become the character that he is when you first start the game. Like, he's been through all of this shit, he's brought up without any parents, and he did so much stuff, and he grew up poor and whatever, and he made his own money, he became successful, he did fighting and whatever. You would give him an awesome backstory, like a really tough life, and you'd make him as strong as possible. But the only way he's become strong is by doing hard things, is by having to do hard things, is by being put through these difficult things, by going through adversity. That's the only way that that character has become the strong character that you desire, the strong character that you want. So why, when it comes to you becoming the strongest version of yourself, do you say, oh, I don't need to do the hard things? To get fitter and healthier, you go, I don't need to do something hard, I just need to do something. That's not the case. You can't do the same thing every day and expect a different result. You've got to do different things, you've got to do hard things. When things become easy, you've got to switch it up and do something else that's difficult. I've realised this with my gym training, that I was starting to plateau with the same method I was using for probably about a year and a half. I was starting to find it a bit stagnant and boring and just the same thing, very repetitive. And now I mix it up a bit more and I do the high intensity over volume. So I'm training harder, I have to be present in the room and a lot more focused and a lot more in the moment about, so I'm focused on my training. So I'm focused in what I'm doing so that I can actually reach that failure to push myself forward. Now, you've got to be able to do that with everything so that you can push yourself through the adversity. You've got to be aware, you've got to be on the ball, you've got to be conscious in every moment, because so many people are just wandering through the day unconsciously, going from one task to the other, going from work to get home and have dinner. If you can wake up and become conscious and become aware of what you're actually doing, it's going to change your life. It's going to change how you look at things. Start looking at everything you do. Okay, so you wake up. What's the first thing you reach for? Is it your phone? Okay, don't touch it. If you find yourself reaching for your phone, put it down. Leave it there. Go out the room. Go outside. Sit in the sun for just 5 minutes with a glass of water. Have some water when you first wake up. Great. Okay, now have a shower, then go to the gym. Take your phone with you, listen to some music, but go to the gym, start doing exercise, start working harder, start pushing yourself. And don't grab your phone in between sets, don't start scrolling. It's a very big habit that I see a lot of people have. As soon as they put their phone down, it takes them about 5 seconds and then they'll reach for it again. And I'm guilty for that. I used to be like that. You still reach for it every 5 seconds, and then you've got to have the strength, the willpower to say, okay, no, I'm not going to pick it up. I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to do something else. I'm going to stay on this task I'm actually meant to be doing. So, as a person, to grow, you have to go through discomfort. You have to go through something difficult. That's why you grow. That's the reason you grow. That's why the value of something is perceived by its difficulty. It's correlated to its difficulty. So depending on how difficult something is to achieve, on how difficult it is to get, that's going to make it more valuable. So having a good physique, that's difficult because it takes months, years of training and dieting to reach a good physique. So that's why it's valuable, because it means that person has been strict with their diet, with their training for years or months. That's the first thing. Next would be, a good example would be like a business. You can't make a business work in a few days. It's going to take months, if not years again, of hard work, consistent work, maybe without even seeing any results until it finally works. So all of these things, they're perceived by their value. Their value is perceived by the difficulty that's associated with it. So if it's something that's really hard to achieve, then it's going to be looked at as more valuable. So you've got to put yourself through the hard things to be looked at as a high value man. You've got to put yourself through the adversity, through the difficulty, to be looked at and to be perceived as someone that's high value, that has a lot of value. So you've got to work hard. You've got to maybe put yourself through adversity and see yourself not make any progress for months. And then it will finally click, but you've got to stick at it for that amount of time. And the hardest thing is, so many people, they'll stop at the first bit of adversity. They'll stop at the first setback. And they'll stop as soon as they don't see any results. But if they keep going, that's where the true strength shows. If you have the power, the strength and the power and the mindset to continually push through something when you're not seeing results, then you've proven to yourself that you can do something difficult without having to need results. It's more of a habit. It's become more of a habit for you than anything else. You're not just doing it for the results, you're doing it for the process. Now, I want my channel to grow. I want to get more views. I want to get more subscribers. But I'm not obsessed with it. I know that it could go very well, but I'm not obsessed with the idea that it's going to be all that I want. I want to push myself with the videos. I want to grow as the channel grows. I want to progress my ability in speaking, my ability in articulating my own words and listening to people, and I just want to progress myself as a person and document that whole process. I want to document the adversity I put myself through and tell you guys about it so that you can then understand that how I got from point A to point B. Because in 5 or 10 years' time, I will be successful. And I want this whole path to be laid out for you to come and look at. So just remember, you've got to put yourself through the adversity to gain some value. You've got to do difficult things to become a valuable person. Your family will always love you. That's a no-brainer. But to gain the respect of other men, to have high-value women, other high-value men be interested in spending time with you, you yourself have got to be high value. You've got to be attractive in that area that they are interested in. If there's a rich guy and he's got a good physique and he does boxing, then he's only going to be interested in other guys that do the same thing as him, or he's only going to see you if you've got that good physique, if you've been and done all the boxing and the fighting and the combat sports, if you've got a good business. He's going to be looking for people with those attributes. So just go out there and put yourself through the adversity. Use it as a tool for yourself to actually progress, and be grateful that you have the opportunity to put yourself through that adversity, because that's what's going to make you grow. It's not a setback. It's not some burden. It's a gift. It's literally a little bit of, it's like a seed. It's a plant of something that you put in the floor, you help it grow, you plant it. It's a seed. You plant the seed, it grows, and then you harvest it. It's not immediate, but over time you see the results. You take that seed, you can sell it, you can eat it, whatever. You take the plant and sell it and eat it, whatever it is. But you've had to wait for it to grow. You've had to nurture that plant. You've had to water it. You've had to feed it, whatever. Then you get the results. You get the plant that's come out at the end. You get the crop, and you get to sell it. You get to eat it. You get to do whatever with it. And that's where the value in it is. So you've got to imagine yourself as a plant. You get the adversity, and that's the seed. You plant the seed. You put yourself through the adversity, and you do that continuously. The plant grows. Then you harvest it. You realise, oh, I'm a better person now because I've done this and this and this. I've got more experience. I've I've got a better life view. I've got a better mindset because I've done this, this and this. And then you can realise, oh, this is great. I'm going to keep doing this now because it's so beneficial. So now I'm just going to do another thing. I'm going to plant another seed. And that's all it is.